Whilst there are some minor exceptions, congenital amusia or people who lack the ability to make a sound with their vocal folds, to answer this question real quick, yes, you can absolutely learn how to sing. But secretly, you know this, you can get better at singing, but you aren't doing anything about it. And so I believe there is something deeper. And in today's episode, I'd love to tackle that for you. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Singing Simply Show. My name is Ivan, and on this show, we're here to demystify the process of learning how to sing and make it as simple as possible. Because let's face it, learning how to sing can feel confusing. Right? I've been there before. I know that situation that you might be in at the moment. And so if this is up your lane, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, because we'll be releasing episodes every single Friday to help you tackle and overcome this. So here's the thing. First thing I tackled in this episode was that anyone can learn how to sing. Yes, there are some minor exceptions. And I even said that you probably know this, right? But why are you still watching this? The reason why you're still watching this, and this is my belief, right, is that secretly you still doubt this, right? You believe you can get better at singing, but there is some doubt, there's some reservation. And I think that is absolutely normal. In fact, today, rather than just constantly drilling this idea that you can sing, you can sing, I want to see if I can unlock some of those roadblocks, unlock some of those beliefs or those things that you're still believing that are actually holding you back. Because most likely this doubt, this uncertainty that you can actually get better at singing is coming from this. And so wouldn't it be great if you could feel with absolute certainty that you could get better at singing? It's just a matter of getting the right guidance and actually putting in the work. And so let's jump straight into this. I'm going to be sharing this into 3 common beliefs that you're probably having right now that's holding you back from learning how to sing, whether you are aware of it or not. So one of the biggest reasons that is holding you back from believing that you can actually learn how to sing, and that because you would have actually done the work, is you can't sing in tune. And what I mean by this is maybe you have tried singing before. Maybe you have tried to sing in the shower before. Maybe you even sang in front of someone at a karaoke. But you notice the moment you open your mouth, what comes out is so horribly off tune. It's not even in key and you just sound so off. I know this feeling because, and in fact, when I'm working with some of my newer clients in Summit, it's one of the first things they say, I can't sing on pitch. I can't really sing with the original singer. I'm always kind of off. And the reason I'm sharing this is a common misconception that actually comes out of not being able to sing on pitch or sing in tune is I am therefore tone deaf. Which means if I can't sing on tune at the moment, if I can't sing with my favorite songs, can't sing at the karaoke bar and be on tune, it therefore means I must be tone deaf. But I want you to challenge this misconception. I want you to challenge this belief because I've been there myself. I've had students who've gone through this myself. Not being able to sing in pitch or sing in tune does not actually mean you are tone deaf. It actually doesn't mean you're tone deaf at all. By the very, very definition of tone deaf, which means you cannot identify between different pitches or different intervals, the fact that you're listening to this podcast, the fact that you enjoy music, right? That's probably why you're here. It means you are not tone deaf. What it does mean though, is you are simply untrained. You need to realize that learning how to sing on pitch, it is a skill. I've taken plenty of people who are unable to even sing a note correctly to being able to sing a song without the original singer, singing with karaoke, singing with instrumental. It is a skill that can be developed as long as you know what you're looking for. And so now that we know if you're not singing on key, it doesn't mean you're actually tone deaf. It just means there's some work to do and there's some things that we need to tackle. How do we actually overcome this? Now, if you're in this boat, what I would suggest very, very, very simply is start off by just matching a note. Just start off by matching a single note. So what I want you to try is go to Google, find a very, very simple digital piano. Now, we want a digital piano that's going to show you a bunch of notes. And usually, even if you're not familiar, it should say something like C3, D3, E4. I'll even drop a link to the piano that I use in the description below. But what you can do here is, for males, I want you to try match a single note on this piano. Start building your confidence that way. Start building the skill this way. Focus on matching a single pitch. What this means, for males, on the piano, play somewhere between a C3 or a G3. Any notes between them. You can play any of those notes, and I want you to try to match it. Now for ladies, you just play somewhere between the C4 and the G4, so the octave above. And same thing, you try to match it as well. Now, if you match it on the first go, well done. Now, if you don't match it, That's completely cool as well. What I want you to do is see if you can slide around. The number one mistake I see when people are trying to sing in tune is they'll just guess the same pitch again and again. They'll constantly be singing the same pitch again and again, even though they're off. And they don't try another pitch. They don't try sliding around. And what I mean by this is, say if I was playing an E, okay, I don't feel like I'm hitting the note. I don't feel like I'm on pitch. Let me see if I can just slide around with my voice. But when you do it right and you try it again and again, one sensation you could feel is that there's almost like a matching or a clicking in of your voice and the piano. So I'm just sliding around. And right there, I feel like my voice clicks in really nicely with the piano. I feel like my voice kind of clicks in and almost makes it a bit louder. A very, very kind of simple sensation you can feel. This is a very likely cue that you've actually matched this. And team, chances are you might not get this on the first go. You might need to try it for a couple of times. You might even need to try it over the course of a week. But as long as you keep practicing this, you will get that feeling of being able to match the pitch. This is where I would start. Just try it again and again and again, and you will get it, I promise you, as long as you're willing to practice and do the work. And even if you still feel like you're struggling, this is where you can find a teacher. A teacher can support you and guide you through this. And so this is one of the most common beliefs, right? The fact that if you can't sing in tune, you must be tone deaf. And so hopefully we've dispelled that, put that belief away, and let's see if we can actually get you to work on your pitch. Now, common belief number 2 is, even though some of you might already be able to match in pitch, some of you might already be able to match pitches. You're singing and you have no trouble singing in key. But the challenge that you're actually facing here, or the belief that you've got for yourself, is my voice just naturally sounds terrible. Right? Maybe I've got a tone that sucks. Which means as you're singing through a song, maybe you feel like you're whiny. Maybe you feel like you've got a very ugly kind of ducky quality to your voice. Maybe you feel like your voice just sounds so weird. Why would anyone listen to it? And once again, I've been in this place before, so I can relate to this. A lot of my clients go through the same thing as well. The challenge here is, underlying this challenge, the belief that you might be having at the moment is you feel like your voice is fixed. The way your voice sounds right now is how it's going to sound forever. If I've got a ducky quality right now, maybe I'm going to sound ducky for the rest of my life. Or maybe if I've got a very nasal tone, I'm going to sound nasal for the rest of my life. But what I've learned over my past 10 years of just learning how to sing and even, coaching other singers is your voice is simply not fixed. And a testament to this is when I first started learning how to sing, I used to have this really dark and dopey quality. I would used to sing like this, fly me to the moon. And even when I was singing, even when I was speaking, I would have that kind of dopey and woofy quality. Even if you just go to my channel and go to some of my older videos, my older clips, some of my before and afters, you'll hear this, right? But through training, through finding, the right technique, my voice has changed a lot. My voice now sits in this kind of brighter, more pingy, and almost more natural kind of sounding tone. Seems like everybody's got a price. I wonder how they sleep at night. When the sale comes first and the truth comes second, just stop for a minute and smile. Why is everybody so serious, acting so damn mysterious? Even now when I'm singing, the tonal quality is much, much more different. And I'm sharing this example to inspire you that whatever voice you feel like you've got right now, maybe it's too ducky, maybe it feels like it's so dog like mine, right? Whatever you feel like is holding you back from having a nice sounding voice, I promise you it can change. It can be different. How do we get there? You need to master the fundamentals. You need to work on your voice. You need to train it. Similar to a basketball player, you're not suddenly able to dunk all of a sudden, right? You have to train, you have to work at it, you have to build muscle, you have to build the skills in order to do that. It's the same thing here when it comes to learning how to sing, especially when it comes to training your tone. It is not fixed. In fact, I've actually got some videos on the fundamentals of the voice I'd love to share with you here. So make sure to go check out that next and see if that helps you get started. Number 3, the final reason why a lot of people, secretly doubt themselves when it comes to actually being able to learn how to sing is they don't feel confident. Right? And you probably experienced this before already. Maybe early in your childhood, your friend, your family, someone in your life told you, hey, you sound bad. Maybe you should stop singing, turn it off. Right? Maybe you've been told this before, and maybe you've experienced this before. And I've definitely experienced this myself. One of my very first performances, I got laughed at because of how bad it was. And so I know how that can feel. And the challenge with this is we often let those opinions, the things that other people say are true. We let other people dictate how we feel about our own singing and also how we feel confident with our voice. What I've learned and what I've realized is other people's opinions don't even matter. In fact, they're not even accurate sometimes. Everyone has their own opinion of how a voice should sound. And maybe in that one moment in time, you were told, hey, you suck, right? Maybe they were just having a bad day. Maybe they were making an offhanded remark. But to allow that to control and dictate the rest of our lives with how we feel about our voice, isn't that a bit silly? Isn't that honestly a bit silly? And so what I want to do is challenge you, right? Challenge you to do this. Confidence can be built. Confidence is something that can be built brick by brick. So the goal here is, how do we then build this confidence? How do we build this ability to go, well, hey, I think I can actually learn how to sing, or I can actually sing. How do we do this? The first thing I would start off is, let's define confidence, because confidence is one of those terms that can be a bit vague. How I define confidence is the feeling of certainty, the certainty that something is going to happen. For example, you have confidence that the sun is going to come up because you've seen it happen again and again. You have a good feeling that it's going to happen again. And so this is one way you can start thinking about confidence, right? How do we start to build this? I personally think confidence can be built in 3 ways. And this is actually something I teach in my 3-month program summit. With my clients, there's 3 areas that we can really use and focus on to build this confidence. Number 1, no doubt, is build your technique, right? When you build the fundamentals of your voice in a reliable technique that you can use again and again to make the sounds that you want, that by far is going to give you this feeling of certainty, right? This feeling that, hey, I can do this, right? I actually can do this. Now, that's not all though, because the second part is tackling it with experiences, right? And I personally really believe in this, because a lot of people will think, oh, if I just had the best voice in the world, I definitely feel confident. I feel so confident about my voice, but it's not true. I've worked with lots of singers where, you really listen to their voice and you think they should already be signed to a label, but they still don't feel confident about their voice. A lot of them don't have the experiences or necessarily the beliefs to tackle this, which means you have to go through certain moments in your life. Maybe it's performing in front of an audience, maybe it's performing in front of someone else, and that allows you to challenge and build the right set of beliefs, which is, I can do this again. Once again, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And then the third and final piece of building confidence is surrounding yourself with the right people around you. Because when you have the right people around you, you start to adopt their beliefs, you start to adopt their mentality, you start to get inspired by them, you start to see their failures, and you normalize it because it's just part of the process of learning. And so if you can build your technique, if you can go and challenge yourself through those experiences, build that belief, and then surround yourself with people who are going to bring you up, this is how you start tackling and building confidence in your singing. And so these are the 3 points, right? Number 1, you feel like you can't sing in tune, and we've dispelled that. And we've dispelled that because just because you can't sing in tune, it doesn't mean you are actually tone deaf. Now, the second one is that your voice sounds horrible. You've got a tone that sounds bad, and you feel like you're fixed with that. Once again, that's not true. We've dispelled that. With the right training, with the right technique, your voice can change a whole bunch. And the third one is you don't feel confident because of maybe something that has been said early in your life. But there's a way to overcome this. Building the right technique, going through experiences as a singer, and surrounding yourself with the right people. When you do this right, you will build that confidence. So hopefully this helps. And the last point I'd really love to share with you is the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. Right? You've heard this quote again and again and again, but the second best time to plant this tree is right now. And what I mean by this is, don't feel like you have to go through this alone. If learning how to sing, if learning how to finally express the emotions you've got in your soul is something that you really want to do, you don't have to do this alone. This is something that I help a lot of my clients with all the time. And so if you're interested in making this process even easier, making it quicker, make it faster, right, and seeing better results, then I'm going to drop a link in the description on how you can get in contact with me if you are looking to get some help. And so apart from that, team, remember, you are not your limitations. Take care, and I'll see you for the next episode.